The real story. Madam C.J. Walker and Annie Turnbo Malone. These two women didn't just sell hair products. They helped create the modern black beauty industry in the early 1900s, during Jim Crow, when black women had very few safe ways to build wealth. They were both innovators, products plus methods, builders, schools, factories, agent networks, employers, jobs for thousands of black women, philanthropists, major giving to black institutions, competitors. Yes, but the villain-hero story is mostly mythology. And here's the key truth. Annie Turnbo Malone started first as a business. Madam C.J. Walker became the most famous and the most documented financially. Neither one invented hair care. Black hair care existed long before them, but they industrialized it and scaled it. What was happening in black hair care at the time? Around 1,900 scalp and hair problems were common. Limited indoor plumbing, infrequent washing, harsh products, scalp infections. A major breakthrough wasn't just straightening, it was healthier scalp care, plus consistent grooming routines, plus professional sales systems. Timeline. Who did what first? Simple and accurate. Annie Turnbo Malone, first mover. Early 1900s. Develops and sells wonderful hair grower, door to door, and by mail. 1902. Expands in Street Louis and opens shop. Operations there. Early commercial scale. 1906. Poro. Branding becomes central to protect and distinguish products. 1917. 1918. Builds Poro College, a cosmetology training plus manufacturing plus community hub in Street Louis. Madam C.J. Walker, second to enter. Biggest cultural impact. 1890s. Learns hair, scalp care culture through family, community, and street. Louis 1905, 1906. Sells Malone's Poro products. Street, Louis in Denver. Then breaks away and launches her own brand 1910. Establishes major manufacturing and HQ operations. Indianapolis era, 1910s. Builds a massive national agent system, plus beauty schools, and becomes a national public figure. Annie Turnbo Malone, the foundation builder, often erased. Annie Turnbo Malone is one of the clearest examples of a genius businesswoman whose legacy got buried behind bigger headlines later. What she accomplished? Big facts. 1. She built the earliest large-scale black hair care company in this rivalry. She developed formulas, branded them, and created a door-to-door and mail-order system that reached black women widely. 2. Poro College was a whole, black-owned beauty city. Poro wasn't just a school. It functioned as a training center, factory, distribution hub, and community landmark in Black Street, Louis. 3. She used beauty entrepreneurship as economic freedom for women. Her model trained women into careers and business ownership when most employment options were limited. 4. Her philanthropy was serious, local, and long-term. She funded and supported the Street Louis Colored Orphans Home, later connected to the Annie Malone Children and Family Service Center, and helped anchor community life for decades. The truth: people, Miss Malone was not just a mentor. She was a system creator, products, plus branding, plus training, plus large-scale distribution before Walker became Walker. Madam C.J. Walker, the super-scaled empire, plus activism engine. Walker's story is powerful because she turned personal hardship into a disciplined national machine. What she accomplished? Big facts. 1. She created a full Walker system and trained women nationwide. Her company wasn't only about product, it was about training, licensing, commissions, and professional identity for black women. 2. She marketed like a modern corporation. Branding, newspapers, public appearances, conventions. Walker moved like a 21st century founder in a 1910 world. 3. She fused business and black advancement. Her success became a megaphone for jobs, pride, and the idea that black women could fund their own institutions and political power. 4. She is the most financially documented. Walker's business records and archives are unusually detailed compared to most early black companies, which is part of why her legacy is so dominant today. Their relationship, mentor plus agent plus breakaway competitor. This is the part people argue about most. What's solidly supported? Walker did sell Malone's Poro products in 1905, 1906, before fully launching her own company. After that, they became direct competitors in the same fast-growing market. The lies people repeat online lie Hashon. Walker stole the formula, and that's the whole story. Reality. The basic medicinal, scalp ointment approach, petroleum, jelly texture, plus sulfur as a treatment agent, existed long before both of them, going back centuries in medical remedies and appearing in other products too. So the story isn't as simple as theft. Lie hash 2. Only one of them mattered. Reality. Both created jobs, trained women, built institutions, and changed Black economic life, even if Walker's fame is larger today. Lie hash 3. Being first is the only thing that counts. Reality. Impact is measured in scale, jobs created, institutions built, and community change, not just who sold a jar first. So who was first in the hair care business? If you mean between these two women, Annie Turnbo Malone was first an organized, commercial Black hair care entrepreneur with a growing company before Walker launched her own brand. If you mean who became the first self-made woman millionaire, Walker is widely credited and heavily documented, and is listed by Guinness as the first self-made American woman millionaire in that framing. Malone is also described as a millionaire and one of the first Black women millionaires. But the exact numbers are harder to prove because fewer company records survived publicly. If you mean who was first in Black hair care historically, neither. Black hair care, grooming, oils, styling, braiding, and salon culture existed long before 1900. What these women did was build the first massive, national, scalable industry around it. The cleanest way to say the truth, museum label, accurate. Annie Turnbo Malone, the early architect of the large-scale Black hair care business model, Poro, training systems, and a community-serving beauty institution. Ma Dong-si, J. Walker, the best documented scaler of the industry, who turned hair care into a national economic movement for Black women and tied it directly to philanthropy and activism.